You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. Okay, left side. Right side. What's that song that go out through the airways? Right side.
Oh, okay.
Slap upside the head. Slap upside. I did it. I got it. I got it. I slid to the right side, and I got it. I was trying to dance this morning. I was really trying to dance. This morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time it is. There we go. And I was trying to keep Mr. Tyler from coming out and slap him upside the head. But you know what?
So
When you have been scared to death, I mean scared to death, you say the number one, number two camera. Got it. When you've been scared to death, gum in the mouth. When you've been scared to death like I was, by the way, let me tell you who we are. This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy Jones, and we welcome you to visit us this morning, this evening, whatever time it may be that you tell your friends and tell your family that you're with the Talk Beat Jones show. I'm just going to go right into my fright. And I'd like to ask you if you had a fright in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul, because as this is Black History Month, I was one of those persons that was wondering in latter years, will February 2018 go down as the year that we lost WHPR? I wondered. And why did I wonder that? Why was my heart beating so bad? Why was my blood pressure so terrible? Well, I had no information about what was going on. All I know is I saw bars. And we talk about soldiers and folks who have that syndrome, that war syndrome. And I had a flashback to my war syndrome, working for this man that you see on my poster behind me. That's Chuck Johnson, Soul Beat Television. I was on the air, family. I was on the air broadcasting when Kathy Hughes, Comcast, as they had formed a company together, VH1, TV1, or whatever, and at 8 o'clock at night, I had been on about a couple hours, and we knew that we were scheduled to be shut off. And folks were saying, oh, God is going to help us. God is going to be with us. Don't worry, Mr. Johnson. It's not going to happen. We've got too much power. We've got too many black folks that mean that the station means too much for that to happen. At 8 o'clock, I was on the phone talking to a person, and that person was saying, see, look at the time, and you're still on the air, and all of a sudden it was click. And family, that was the day that Soul Beat Television, a media outlet that had been formed almost 25, 27 years in existence, gone like that, bam. When I woke up and I do what I was doing, normally I'm turning to TV 33, the cable system. I have no other system. There was no TV 33. That morning, that evening, and for days, there was no TV 33. My heart was beating hard. Now, technically, technically, I understood that there was a problem with equipment that had to be repaired. I knew that in my heart, in my mind, excuse me, in my mind, but in my heart, it was, what if? What if? So as I listen to all the folks talk about black history, and I hear folks recounting what things that's happened to us throughout the years of our forefathers, mothers, etc., and we talk about doing business with black folk, and we have folks on the radio, we have folks on this station talking about doing business with black folk. I wonder how many of you who are viewers of the other hosts, who are longtime viewers of this station, and who listen to the radio stations, and the dark skin, or the folks who have flavoring to their skin talk on that station. How many of you really are concerned about our future in the media business? How many of you really take this station to your bosom, to your chest, in a protective mode? How many of you felt the loss of not being able to watch and to listen, to be informed, or to critique folks on this station? How many of you really missed it? How many of you wondered? Did you care? Did you say, oh, that's just another black business that bit the dust? Or did you say, you know, we've got to get together and make sure these things don't happen? Now, it was an equipment situation at this particular time. But you know, when things happen to a black station that's unexpected, that means it's a hard hit on their budget. And it means that if it's an expensive piece of equipment that goes out, it takes time to get the monies to replace that equipment. Why? Why? And I asked a question here, and I'm going to move on and move on with the show. Why is it that this community, 85, 90% black, do not take up the protection of this station? We are at war, whether you understand it or not. We are at war. We are like the North and the South. We're like the North and the South. We are basically going against the multi-millionaire, billionaire persons who own radio stations, television stations, and we're the folks who's just doing it. We need your money. We need your money. We need you to decide to make that contribution to 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, 4822. Wait, what is that? 48203. And I really do not ask that you necessarily send it in the name of a host. If that's what you say, I don't care about the host, I don't want to send nothing to help those hosts, then don't do that. But by golly, this is your station. Do you want an eviction notice? Do you want a foreclosure notice on what's yours? Come on, my friend. Come on, my family. Step up to the plate. Let's pledge once a month to send whatever you can send. Whatever you can send. I'm not going to go to the idea of saying, well, if it's not but $1, I don't believe in that principle, that philosophy. It costs you more than that to put that in the mail. So, in your heart, let us, before this Black Month, Black History Month, or let's just say the Black Month is over, you decide that you're going to send in a check, cashier check, money order to this station, your station, our station, to set up so that there can be funds set aside, so when something happens, the station and the management don't have to go and say, well, our budget is already budgeted for these other things and we have to try to put money together to get these parts. Help the station be what you want it to be, the absolute best to represent you. I'm Billy Jones, and I'm saying I don't care if you don't send nothing in the name of Talk B. Jones or Billy Jones. Just send it to the station to help out black folks. Everybody else is coming to you and wanting you to make a contribution for this and a contribution for that and something that you can't see. And we're here. This is the business that wake you up in the mornings, tuck you in at night. And for us, many of us, we sleep with it on just to hear the conversations because you got different programming and movies now. Come on, my family. Have a heart. Let's do this together. And speaking of doing this together, we have a co-person in the studio with me this morning. There he is. Sir, would you tell them who you are?
I am the one, the only, the inimitable Tom Wilson.
Mr. Tom Wilson. And Tom, could you give them the telephone numbers out there so that in case there's someone who would like to speak on a subject or who would like to speak about if they had a problem turning their TV on or modalities and not being able to see WHPR, TV 33, cable channel 91. Now, I don't know about the other modalities. I'm saying that I have my modality, which is the Comcast. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm selfish in that I look at my nose, take care of me. So that's what I'm bothered by. Like I said, I knew nothing that was going on. And so I had the nosebleed. Yes, I had the nosebleed behind high blood pressure because I was really, really bothered. I'm still bothered. Still bothered. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm glad to see you back on, and I'm going to try to do my part. I can't send a big donation,
yes, ma'am.
But I'm going to send what I can.
That's all we ask. It's from the heart. We're not asking you to go deep in your pockets or your purse. Just, let me just say this: that guy behind me, that guy, the guy with the beard, that's me, and the shorter guy, that's Chuck Johnson, who owns Sobe Television.
Mm-hmm.
We would go on television, and we had a situation with the IRS. And in 1 month, in less than 4 to 5 days, the community cared enough at that time about the station, etc. We had a $35,000 tax bill, and they came in to close the station down, which they did. But we had a backup station to let the community know what was going on. And the community came out in 3 to 5 days, raised almost $40,000 in cash and checks. So I'm not asking for that type of turnout. I'm just saying we need to look at this as our station. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
Were you able to watch the station, or were you attempting to watch the station during the time that it was off?
Yes, I was, and I missed it.
Tell me, what is it that you went through from day to day, not being able to suddenly tune in to watch the station or watch your favorite shows on TV 33? What was your day like, and what was your heart saying to you, your mind saying to you? Please explain and take your time.
I was bored, and I was hoping, because I had heard you say before how you can come in and the station is off. So I was hoping that hadn't happened.
Yes.
Because Mr. Tyler and Mr. Watkins and the co-hosts all try to do the best they can.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know I got to try to do something, no matter how small, and I'm going to try to talk to other people.
Thank you.
Just to send something like you do for a donation for church.
Yes, yes.
Because you might not agree with everybody. Nobody ever agrees with everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
But it just gives you knowledge of what's going on in our community. Just like when they were supposed to have the charter commission mission meeting at Sacred Heart. I never heard any more about whether they had it or not.
Yes.
And your station inform us about things like that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
I thank you for co-hosting because this is an educational station
Yes, it is.
also.
Yes, it
You
is.
don't just look at it for entertainment.
Yes,
You want to know what is going on,
that's right. And
and I just was hoping that you was gonna come back on
you,
because I don't have Roku and all that other stuff. All I have is this one station.
that's right. That's right. And you know, and see, and that's what I'm talking about. We got the one station. There's
Uh-huh.
hundreds of other stations and other situations, etc. But the station that hits us, you don't have to be an activist to love the station or to love your people.
That's right.
What I'm appealing to is folks that are not hollering about I'm an activist. I'm talking about you, us, folks who love this community, people who love each other, who want this community to get greater, better, and to get the
Right.
right information without the hubbub of fighting and arguing and
That's
name calling.
right.
Hmm.
That that would make the world a lot better.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I want to take a moment and say thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and your feelings this morning because it means a lot to me. It means a great deal to me to have someone recognize that I'm not shucking and jiving,
I know.
and I really love this station. I really love this community,
Yes.
and it hurt, and it still hurts
Yes.
to have it taken away.
It would really, and it would be disastrous.
Yes,
It really, but I didn't know about the meeting at Sacred Heart Charter Commission. I
Po-
never heard any more about it.
they had the meeting, and possibly someone may call in to give us some information about the charter meeting because, again, uh, we're going to talk about. I saw the last charter meeting before
Yeah.
that, and we're going to have a discussion about that. But I do hope that there are folks out there who attended the meeting and would have something to
Yeah.
contribute to it.
Because I'm not talking about the one that they just had. I'm talking about the one that was supposed to be at the Charter Commission, the last time afterwards.
Okay,
So Mr. Wilson probably can tell us what happened
okay.
and why
I
they
do.
didn't still have it at Sacred Heart.
Okay, I do believe the meeting was held. I'm not sure if it was at the Sacred Heart or was at the other location, but
The Samaritan Center.
yes.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Maybe someone may call us and let us know for sure that was there. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We love you and appreciate you
Love
very
you
much.
too.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Mr. Tom
Yes.
Wilson, what's on your mind this morning, sir?
Well, as you said, I think it was maybe around Tuesday evening or whenever it was, and, turned it, hit the 9-1 button, and, we saw the color bars, and it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I called, I believe it was Thursday, and the young lady who answered the phone, she says, well, there was a problem with the transformer. And, they were, waiting for IT because I think they had the part. They just had to have somebody come in and, plug it in. And I told her, I said, well, tell Mr. Tyler good luck
Yes.
and what have you. But anyway, I get the newspaper every day.
Before you give that, would you give us our telephone numbers again, so in case there was someone on the line earlier, but during the conversation they decided to leave us.
Okay.
But again, family, this is Talk B. Jones. I am Billy Jones, and sir, you are.
Tom Wilson.
And this is Tom's Corner now. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, the numbers, folks, they're all 313 area code. The numbers are 868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336.
Okay, and the numbers at the bottom of the screen, but they're only there for a short time, and if we take them down and move right ahead with our program. Tom, you were about to say what, sir?
Yeah, I did some homework, and I cut some articles out of the paper. And there was one about Amazon. It says, Amazon to fund classes in 27 Michigan schools. And there was one school in Detroit, which is John R. King Academic and Performing Arts. And what this is about, and I'm going to read it from the article, it says, Amazon Future Engineer is a four-part childhood to career program aimed at getting more students, particularly those in underserved communities, to pursue careers in computer science and coding. And also there's one more point. It says it was launched in 2018 in November, and it says, excuse me, Amazon Future Engineer also awards 100 students with with a 4-year, $10,000 scholarship, as well as other guaranteed and paid Amazon internships to gain work experience. And it's a part of Amazon's $50 million investment in computer science and STEM education.
Are any of those schools in Detroit?
Yeah, the one that I mentioned, John R. King.
Is that the only one?
Um, yeah,
The reason I want to ask you that is John R. What is that?
John R. King.
John R. King. Tell me, is that a newer school?
It's a middle school.
Is it a newer school?
Um,
I mean, but let me not do a trick question. I was asking the question to find out, of all the middle schools in Detroit, is there a particular reason why they chose that particular, or what is the criteria for any of the schools, or did they say?
well, no, they didn't say.
It's
what
just
the
a good thing they're
criteria
doing.
was. But excuse me. But in terms of John R. King, it's not the original John R. King. The original John R. King
That's
was
okay.
over on Littlefield.
That doesn't matter. It's okay.
Okay, but the school was renamed.
Okay.
Okay.
But so that's a good thing.
Well, you know what? It's something that wasn't there. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, maybe we can get it in some other schools as well.
yeah.
But I think that's a good. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sure that's a great step, and I'm glad that our community is finding out about that, and maybe someone can look into it further. Now, since you're talking about education, you have something else there about education.
Yeah.
What is that about?
There was another article in the Detroit Free Press. It was on the op-ed page, and this was written by Nancy Kafer. And I'm not going to read the whole article.
No,
folks.
just give a shorthand.
She talks about title of the article was "College Degrees Worth $18,000 Less for Detroiters." Okay, and right toward the end of the column, she writes this. She says, "Like a lot of folks, I have always assumed that Detroit's substantial poverty rate is driven in large by education. Fewer Detroiters hold high school, 2-year college, college graduate, or 2-year degrees than suburbanites. Education is kind of the holy grail or public policy. It's a bedrock assumption that if more people are better educated, they'll be more stable and more secure." And I mean, I've said that for years. There's another, I won't get into it, but there's a program that comes on and the guy beats this thing about poverty to death. And I'm going like, well, the answer to poverty basically is education. If you are in poverty,
Okay. No.
if you're in poverty and you can by some kind of way manage to, get yourself back into school, and I don't necessarily mean a 4-year degree school, or maybe what I'm talking about is possibly some kind of alternative education where you can learn a skill, something that'll give you a step up, or maybe 4 or 5 step ups from where you are.
Now, we're talking about poverty.
Right.
Made me had to take a little second step. You're speaking of Bankaley.
Yeah.
And for folks who don't know that Bankaley actually got his media television start with TV 33. Did you know that? Has he ever mentioned that? It doesn't matter because I know it for a fact from him dealing with Hodo. And I was there. No, I was there when Bankaley used to come in late nights, and when Hodo would put him on his show. I remember when they was trying to deport Bankaley because of his accent. He sounded so foreign that people did not believe that he was an American citizen or that he actually belonged here. Maybe he'll talk about that sometime as well. He's an excellent guy. We've had his wife on the shows here. Great program, great guy. And he's talking about poverty. And he's giving you the ins and outs of poverty. So we understand that the educational process is a wonderful process. However, going through the process is, are we having the type of teachers that are doing the teaching in a fashion that fascinates the students from a young age? Do we have the type of programming that recognizes that there are some children that are just so smart that they are going to act out in the class because everybody else is so slow. And then that student who is very, very smart is going to be called a troublemaker and is labeled and is going to have a difficult time. Are we looking at the fact that some families, when they have teenagers, I know a young man in my neighborhood that I talked about trying to help him get a job, and etc. All I can see riding on a bicycle, saying he wants to work. And yet, he and his folks didn't have the money even to put him on the bus to go to a training program. So he's trapped in his neighborhood without being able to get to a job, or get to a job training site, etc. Why? Because he is not able to come up with the money just to catch the bus. I thought he was 16, 17. The guy is 22 years of age. So when we talk about poverty, we have to look at the detractors that poverty puts up to stop folk from focusing in on education. We know that you need to get that education, but the process to keep yourself in a mental mode to study and to get to the place and to be awake and to be alert. And they say, well, if you don't have a computer, etc., you can go to the library. Well, where are the libraries in terms of where I live? Do I have to catch the bus? Huh?
Yeah, in some instances, yeah.
And if I don't have the money,
yeah, you can't get there.
So is it like a place that we like you're trapped, damned if you do,
damned if you don't.
Damned if you don't. Well, you're more damned if you don't, because right. If you don't break that cycle, you're going to continue to live in poverty.
Yeah. And, you know, there's an adage that said, where there's a will, there's a way. And, I mean, you know, if you, and this is me, okay, if there's something that you want bad enough, you're going to get it.
That's
right?
the problem. But if I don't know what I want because I'm hungry, I don't know what I want because I'm going home and there's no real food. I'm going home and my electricity, I have a problem keeping the electricity on because mom or dad can't pay the bill at this time, at this point. But as you know, we've seen and heard some wonderful, great stories of people who had to go through these same scenarios that I'm speaking of and turned out to do some wonderful, great things.
That's right.
So that's where that situation developed about if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you dream it, you can make it. Go ahead.
And you know what, mentioning what you just mentioned, I retired from Ludington Middle School, which is over on the far northwest side of town. And that was their model. It was like dream, achieve, dream, believe, and achieve, or something in that, you know, kind of order. And Ludington was one of those schools, okay, where you just couldn't walk in off the street. You had to test for it. I mean, it was an egghead place. And I mean, those kids, students, you know, they were, I mean, that's what they were there, and they took care of business. There was one young lady, I remember her name. Her name was Carrington King.
Okay. But before we get into all of the story there, the process is there was a society in community in that was around that school.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
And the parents were what type of level? The middle class?
I would say, yeah.
So if they were a middle class family, then they pretty much was able to take care of their basic needs, and their concentration was on the betterment of their children. And so they were concerned and was emphasizing, I'm sure, the importance of education, going to school, getting up, getting out of bed, doing your homework, et cetera, to the children. So families that are around other schools, because we always have, like, just like now, I hear all this conversation about Cass Tech.
Right.
And I hear folks bragging about I graduated from Cass Tech, and My children's in Cass Tech. So there's always a lower tier and an upper tier in education that is being offered, even in the public school systems. Is it
Well,
true?
yeah, and I remember back a few years ago, and this has been some while ago. They were talking about the quote unquote magnet schools, which were King, Renaissance, and Cass. And I'm saying to myself, and this is even before I started teaching, I'm going like, why are there only 3 out of all of these? They were talking about high schools. Why are there only 3? Why shouldn't, in a manner of speaking, all of them be? I mean, I understood that we're not all endowed with the same amount of intelligence. So, those students, they're going to be sent to where, the rigor in terms of what they're going to study, it's, for lack of a better way to put it, it's difficult. Not that they can't do it, but they're going to have to put their nose to the grind, and they're going to have to prove themselves.
Okay, now, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back and listen. I want to understand something about Robert Kelly, R. Kelly. I want to understand how Jussie Smollett. I want to understand how we can have the newspaper, the Sunday Free Press, which is for everybody, takes care of
Front
page. It takes care of Free Press and takes care of the Detroit News. So why is this one paper, and I'm going to show you what I'm speaking of when I come back, when we talk about we live in a place that's 85% black, and ask the question. But right now, Tom, give us that telephone number just before we go to break.
Okay, same area code, folks, 313-868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336.
And number 45 is still doing his thing.
Oh, God, I'd be so glad when that fool is out of that White House.
And the folks who are asking about and deciding to throw their hat in to run for president, they're not even getting out the box, and there's things being found out about them that's getting ready to knock them out the box before they even got a chance to throw a jab at Trump. But we'll be back right after these commercial announcements, so you stay with us. This is Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and
I am Tom Wilson.
All right, be back shortly. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones.
Now you can watch WHPR TV 33 on Fire Stick. Catch all of your favorites. Stay informed. Don't miss a minute of your favorite talk shows. Call, text, tweet, post. WHPR TV 33 is worldwide on Fire Stick. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. WHPR TV 33, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
Bon Appetit, Elegant Catering. We now deliver. Pre-order your dinners today. Most Wanted Platter. Visit our website, bonappetitelegantcatering.com. Barbecue rib dinners. We now deliver. Shrimp dinners. We now deliver. Fried chicken dinners. We now deliver. Lamb chop dinners. We now deliver. Fish dinners. We now deliver. Surf and turf dinners at Bon Appetit. We now deliver. Give us a call, 313-444-5048.
This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy Jones. I want to invite you to listen, to watch, and to participate every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's right, from 9 to 10 a.m. That's the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Dr. Talk. Make sure you tune in every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's Talk Beat Jones. Remember, tell your friends. Talk Beat Jones. We're now on Sundays from 9 to 10 a.m.
Alexa, open TV 33 Live. Alexa, open FM Detroit. Alexa, open FM Virgin Islands. Now you can listen to WHPR, TV 33, and WVIE on Amazon Echo. Don't miss a minute of your favorite shows. And find out how you can have your own show heard worldwide on Amazon Echo. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. The Watkins Broadcasting Company.
Well, I'm hot and I'm out of my nightmare because TV 33 Cable Channel 91 is here. We've gone through the technical issues. I mean, do you realize that my Talk B. Jones show over the last month and a half, 2 months, we've gone through some adventures. We've gone through some adventures. And what do they say? And yet we still rise and we're still here. Mm-hmm. We still here.
That was a blink of an eye.
That was a blink of an eye. Thank you, Mr. Tyler. Y'all forgot, Mr. Henry Tyler, the Executive Vice President, General Manager, is the person that's running the show. Let me get this out the way. How many of you have watched... How many of you have picked up the paper? Those who still get the paper. I get the paper. I get both papers, etc. Because I want to know what's going on, and I get the other paper as well. Now I know you can't see this as such, but I want you to understand that my hand is going down this whole page, and this whole page is the front page of the Detroit Sunday Free Press. And it says the Slim Shady LP, the inside story from those who were there. Now, when we talk about hip-hop, etc., and we talk about the trends that the black folks set, well, why is it that the things that we set, it is the white folks who get the most money, the most awards, and then we turn around and look. We've got R. Kelly, who made the front page. We've got Jussie Smollett, made the front page. But for what? Why are they choosing not to talk about some other releases of other artists, black artists? But why, tell me this, why are they giving this man almost 5 pages, I know you can't see it, but I'm just going to hold up for demonstration purposes. 5 whole pages. 5 whole pages to talk about his music and the things he's doing, etc. And then we wonder why those folks get the awards and the greater record music sales. They get free plus publicity. I told you that's what would get Donald Trump in, all the publicity he was getting. Okay? Did you want to make a comment?
Well, in terms of what you were talking, when you first came in and we had our little brief conversation before we came on the air, and you were talking about him getting 5 pages, and I'm saying to myself, well, this must be some kind of anniversary in terms of, where he started to where he is today. But, it just says right there, it's about an album. Okay, probably a CD. Albums back when I was, coming up, they were square. They wasn't these little small round discs.
Okay.
But that's what I thought it was about. I mean, I'm thinking it's about them giving the actual history of the real Slim Shady. Please stand up.
Please stand up. And how he hated his mother.
Yeah.
And how he had all these situations with his wife. I mean, he made the money on it. But anyway. Jussie Smollett, brilliant young man, wonderful actor. I love his singing, by the way. His sexuality, that's his sexuality.
It's his business, yeah.
However, when there is a situation that brings you to the public, brings you out into the public, and you should know it's going to be truth or dare. We're hearing various reports about what transpired with Jesse.
Yeah.
You do know they've written him out of the last 2 episodes of Empire.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, and it's like going to court when you got a lot of money and they say you're going to go to court. Well, when that court date comes up, they postpone it and they keep postponing it so that you can forget. It's vivid in your mind, but they want you to forget. So by taking him out of the scenes of Empire, he's no longer that person that you can focus in on. Has time to take care of his private business and get his story straight. Mm-hmm. And speaking of his stories, now he said that he was jumped and beat and had bleach poured on him and had a noose tied around his neck, and they supposedly found the 2 guys that beat him up.
And don't forget that yelled MAGA.
And gave a homophobic slur. And it comes out these are 2 brothers that he knew, or he knows, or he is aware of. One appeared on Empire, and also turns out that they're bodybuilders as such, and trained him to get ready for a video. Now, the police is making one claim, and if you watch the conversation that the police personnel gave, they were highly upset and hurt that he made these accusations, that they have found to their understanding that this is not true.
You know, and mentioning the police and them being upset, and I didn't hear it, but I heard it reported that the police chief said that he wished people would get more upset about the killings that go on over in Chicago, as opposed to all of these, all of this sensation that, this Smollett's case is getting. Because, I mean, you got babies over in Chicago that have been shot and killed, and it's almost like nothing's heard.
Okay, but the Smollett situation is high profile.
Yeah.
And we do know that when you're high profile, they're going to do more for you. And because of the nature of this crime, they needed to get on it. However, in listening to, as you were doing there, talking about the reports about Chicago and how horrific it is with the crimes, the murders, and how many of those murders go unsolved. Mm-hmm. And yet they talked about with the Smollett situation, they had all these cameras around here and everywhere, and so and they was able to trace things back. Well, the question has come about, if you can do that for Jesse Smollett, then where are all these cameras and all these other situations when other folks are being shot and killed and these are unsolved cases?
Mm-hmm. And that's a good point.
So, we have to look at, this what I was showing you about the newspaper, folk. It's how things are controlled. If they won't invest the time and the money to do something to find these murders, etc., they can do it. But they'll tell you they don't have the manpower or the time. They're overwhelmed. But with this situation, they found them. They found them, they said. Now, I'm getting a cross report that the brothers, well, you have an understanding about that, don't you?
You know what? I try not to get
caught up in it. But just give me.
To me, there's more important things than what happened with this guy. But I heard a report that the brothers, the 2 guys, the Nigerians, said that they were not paid by Smollett's, to do this thing. But
that he was paid, that they were paid to get him in shape for a video. However, that's not the reported scene from the police situations. Now, this comes from TMZ, and TMZ generally gets you the inside scoop.
Right.
So we'll have to wait. So hold your judgment.
Yep.
Hold your judgment about this until we get more of the facts. Caller, you're live on the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and in-studio host,
the inimitable Tom Wilson.
You're live. Talk to us, please.
Happy Sunday. This is Theo.
Hey, Theo. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
this story about Smollett, I find that he may be a good actor, but please don't ever ask him to write a script. It's pathetic. First report was that he had received a letter threatening his life. And what did he do? He goes out to a restaurant at 2 o'clock in the morning.
He go out looking for a Subway.
Yeah, right.
He wanted a big sandwich.
So much for being, threatened. And then he has these guys buy paraphernalia from a store that has cameras all over the place. So he's a terrible script writer. But anyway, I wanted to share with you. We're talking about children being taught coding and all of that. I have a grandson who is.
Wait. Your voice, Theo, your voice dropped when you said about children and coding.
Yes, you were talking about them learning the business side of computers. Is basically what it is. And our young people need to do more than play games on the computer. My grandson, who has just turned 13, has won a trip to Africa. He and 19 other students. There's a young man who attended Detroit Public School who is an expert in the area, and he's offering classes free to the young children in our community. And those who go through the class are winning a lot of opportunities, including computers and money and all that. And at the end, they are going on a trip to Africa.
Tell me this Tell me this: how is it that parents who would be interested in putting their students with this young man, is there a way that they can contact him, or is there a website or something that they can contact him?
His name is Warren. I can get I'll share the number with you, or the web. Yes, he does have a website, and he is continuing this. But I'm proud of the fact that he's from Detroit Public School.
Okay.
He's a graduate, and he offers it to young people in the Detroit Public School system.
That's great.
He believes in giving back.
Okay.
That's what I find important.
Okay.
But it's reading the information on the guy who has a hit list. White guy has a hit list. He wants to get high-profile broadcasters and politicians. Did you read it? You didn't read about it.
No.
He was in Chicago also. And I think that a lot of coverage of Smollett is cover up that there is a white male terrorist in the United States.
Okay, but
homegrown.
Okay, but that's great, Theo. Tell me, when is your meetings?
Saturday, the second Saturday of each month, 2 o'clock at the Daybo Center. We're there from 2 until 6.
Okay.
And this one will be March the 9th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, I want to go into, I'm trying to move along, my time is getting down.
Sure.
I want to also ask the question about R. Kelly. And the question there is, all of these young girls, ladies, at 14 to 16 years of age, etc., they never spoke to their, and I'm asking this question because I do know this is not for family members or people who ask the question is, why did they not tell their mothers or their fathers about their encounters with Robert Kelly? And I will say this, as we know, before we start pointing the fingers at them, that we know many of our wives, our girlfriends, our mothers, our sisters, etc., our grandparents have gone through unreported sexual abuse at some point in their lives. So we can't say, well, they should have known, they should have told their dad and showed their mama, and they say, ooh, I'm going to tell. Okay. Now, let's look at the influence that as an older man, men, we know we can do this. we know we can do this. If I target a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl, and I target her, don't you understand that I can get her to do what I want her to do? So let us not play, well, why is it, and could that be one of the, whatever twists that Kelly has in his mind or how he's doing things, that's how he is going about doing his thing. He may be able to talk with Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby is now, what is he, playing a doctor in jail now?
Yeah, I heard that.
So
But
maybe,
But Cosby, you have to wonder why the grown women kept going back. These are not 14 or 15-year-olds.
yeah,
As it
so,
relates to Bill Cosby.
yeah, and you know, it just amazes me is how all of them knew that he was putting something in their drink. Huh?
But they kept going back.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But anyway, Theo,
Well-
is there something else you want to add before we let you go?
Well, as it relates to R. Kelly, the issues, when you think about 2018, 2019, the cultural mores seem to have changed, and they're younger and younger males and females who are getting involved sexually before they even know who they are. Whereas in decades past, it was a later age.
I don't agree, Theo. I don't agree because, you know,
Go ahead.
because as a youth growing up, from all the way back in elementary school, I was trying to get busy.
Yeah, but you're a male. I'm talking about the girl.
I wasn't
It
trying to
seemed
get,
that
wait, I
father
was not
told
trying,
their
I was not
son-
trying to get busy with a boy.
No, I'm not saying that.
So what I'm saying is, to try to get busy, we had girls that was trying to get busy at that age too. So let us, we come across this sugar and spice and everything nice, and boys do this and girls
Sex
don't.
sells and
But that was a lie. Girls was doing those things too. Girls was influencing the boys at our young tender ages. Yes, ma'am. You see
You
this,
mean by
and
the same percentage?
and I'm saying that we have to come across understand that because we have this communication system now, that any and everywhere in the world we can pick up what happened today or yesterday easy from all modalities. Back in your day, you didn't have that. Something happened in your block or within your community, you may
Right.
find out that day or that week or whatever, but no one else knew. So these things, if you multiply them from way back then, they was not reported, but they were still going on. And that's when I say to people, and they say, well, we used to go through our neighborhood, we didn't even have to lock our door. Come on now. Didn't they have jails back then? Were some people going to jail for raping, for murdering, for robbing back then?
Yeah, they were.
As people talk about their youth and everything was all this and all that, and we had I asked the question simply, did you have folks, right or wrong, going to jail because they were accused of something?
Yes, I just don't believe it was the same percentage.
I'm not
as
concerned
today.
about the percentage, Theo. We're talking about the fact that if there is 4% of folks that's doing this, we're talking about folks that were keeping these things a secret. If you got 4% that you know of, you can bet your money that there's another 40 or 50% you didn't hear about, is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh. Well, there were also women who ignored their daughters if the boyfriends or husbands were molesting them, and they would blame the daughters.
That's true. That's true. And that's what I'm saying is that, and these are things that are kept quiet. They're kept quiet. So you wouldn't have a percentage of those folks in those numbers, is what I'm saying. And I'm with you all the way in saying that, yes, we have had the situation seems to be more prevalent now, but I'm
Right.
saying it's simply because now we have all these outlets, TV, the radio, we have the reporters, or not just the people who are on the stage or on the station, it's the people like yourself when you're at home and you're seeing things and you're watching things and people that are out seeing things and reporting it now, we have some breaking news that are filmed by folk who happen to be in that vicinity or on that situation with their cell phones. It's passed on to the radio or television stations. So now everybody can be a reporter. Therefore, any and everything that happens is reported.
But you know, you would think that since we have so much reporting, that the incidents would go down.
No. I mean, excuse me. I mean, if I want to be famous,
everybody want to be a star.
Yeah, if I want to be famous or feel I can get away with it, you know, don't they have a TV show called How to Get Away with Murder?
Yep.
I mean, when we look at the type of programs, there's movies, television shows, cartoons, etc. You look at the bottom line of what they're doing. They are influencing the mental capacity of people all around the world.
Yeah, true.
Okay? So when we talk about, they call them in life, they call them copycat killers, or copycat this, or copycat that. Guess what? You putting that in TV, you putting that on the radio, conversations, audio, and guess what? I'm saying, you know what? They get on. I can do that. I hate folk. I'm going to do this. You know, you got little children now in elementary school that are sneaking guns, sneaking drugs into the school and giving it to their friends. We have children that are bringing knives. A little young lady that brought a knife to school to kill a girl because of the girl that told her boyfriend that she had cheated on him. And she ran the girl around in the classroom, stabbing her.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So, you see, these are enactment. If you look at some of the movies and you look at how they have gotten into the house or gotten into the classrooms and some of the things they have shown you how to do things in the movies, the TV, and even the cartoons. You look at the cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
And you wonder, where are folks getting these ideas from?
And don't leave out the rap songs.
Well, you know, we talk about the rap songs, but we can go back to the rock and roll songs. We can go back to some of the jazz songs. We can go back to the blues songs. You know, it is whatever that is not our generation that we say that's where it comes from. But I can go back, as I've listened to various old songs and the lyrics. There are some very suggestive lyrics, some very suggestive or some very outright things that they say. They said it a little differently.
Right.
Okay? But these things have been going on, and that's what we have to wake up to, the fact that, okay, they're doing these things. White folks is doing it, and I'm going to tell you another thing. Chaldeans and those Indian folks are doing it as well, and the Latinos. In where I'm from, growing up in California, when they came out with these different programs, TV stations, etc., the folk who is doing the Indians from India, they had a beautiful program with dancing and talking about the things that's happening in their communities. The Latinos, Mexicans, also had a channel, and we were able to sit there and watch and listen to them. I'm going to let you go. I got to go. One more call real quick. Call it real quick. I got 30 seconds.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, you got to talk real quickly. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Well, I just wanted to say about the charter meeting that was at the building that that they said was canceled. We had over 100 people there. We're looking forward to seeing Billy and also Tom at the next charter meeting.
Is this you?
So I was yes, the next charter meeting. I will contact you by text message.
You do this, but you know what? I need to get you on the show again because you were bad, girl. You good. Gotta let you go. You say I gotta go. Miss Underwood. Thank you. We love you. I'll call you.
Mm-hmm.
Or call me, please.
Right.
Bye-bye. 313-412-3111. Bye now. Gotta go, Tom.
Adios.
All right. Bye, y'all. Love you. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the
Talk Beat Jones.